Bum, bum, bum. Hi guys, how you all doing?
Hello.
Yeah, hello, hello.
Sorry,
How are we all doing out there?
Sorry,
Hello, Willow.
Just want to stick drop main jump.
Hope you're all good. Right, so a little bit later on tonight, I have got to put my conspiracy hat on like that. So I should be wearing that later on. So you'll all know when it comes to the conspiracy bit. I put this on. Stops me from getting a bit funky. Right, so
the government getting all his thoughts.
The government steal my thoughts, my mind. Swines that they are. Right, tonight, what am I drinking? Which one shall I open first? I am drinking a Brothers Natural Flavoured, made in Somerset, premium cider, unbelievable. Oh, it's a cheap one. Hi, Max.
So, hi, John Kennedy. Hi, Stuart. Hi, out with Max. Hi, John.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
and we've got
Kiwi will be on in a minute. Oh, yeah, we're still in clear up mode after tornadoes last week. Oh no,
John. Oh no. I hope everybody's safe, mate. I hope you're all okay. Hope everything's good with you. Oh, tornadoes, bloody things.
Hi, Three Dog.
Hi, Three Dog. How you doing, mate? Hope you're
Benny.
good. Let's lift a cider to you, mate. There we go.
John, I've actually asked, did you do the biscuits and gravy?
No, but they did have good food.
Yeah. So I'm going to read an opening statement tonight because I'm feeling a little bit that way.
You got that many?
No, okay. I should save it for later then.
Hi, Laura. She ain't getting a minute. It's just,
just
giving people a chance because they just a minute past.
Okie doke, not a problem.
Hello there.
I
don't know what to say.
Where are they?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Right. So, what have you all been doing this week? What adventures have you had? What's hit you? I know John's been hit by tornadoes out there. Hi, Benny. Hopefully they've not been like too destructive.
Will be along a bit. He's still driving.
Yeah, T's still driving. Excellent.
No. Kiwi.
Kiwi's still driving back from work, I expect, or wherever he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hiya, how's it going? Well, it's a week after the camp. It's a week later. Excuse me, keep looking down. I've made some notes.
There we go.
I could do with another weekender, really. I could do it clearing off up to the hills. They're calling me. The hills are calling me. They're alive with the sound of music. Had a little bit of rain as well this week, which has made everything smell nice. Got that nice earthy smell. The growth's there. The caterpillars are getting fat and the birds are feeding on them. The fledglings are out there calling to their parents, give me some scoff, flapping their little wings, which is always quite magic to see.
You not have no polo, can you just spit them out?
The new growth is out there on the meadows and the hills. And if you can get a moment to just sit in that long grass and look out across it, the wind blowing gently across it, it looks like the sea to me. You see the movement of that grass. It's a wonderful thing. Sprinkled with the yellows, the blues, the whites, and the pinks of the flowers. There's
Excellent, you've got a long weekend.
Hoverflies dart from plant to plant. It's absolutely beautiful.
5 people lost. Oh, it's a shame.
That is terrible.
Hi, Mrs. Max.
50,000 without power.
Hi, hiking the hills.
Yeah.
Oh, bad news. Sorry to hear that.
That's not good, is it?
That's not.
No. That's not good.
You're
not good at all.
Oh,
no, hiking the hills has got a bad knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, that's not good at all. It's daft me saying, is there anything we can do from here apart from send our prayers and thoughts?
I shall call her Maxine. Okay. Max is Mrs. Max.
Mrs. Max.
Yes, Maxine.
Yeah, Maxine. Okay. Yeah. Or Max Arena. Yeah, so
name, do you think?
There we go. That's how it's going, isn't it? It's a bit rough out there. That is. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what to say in a way of actually sharing some love and thoughts. The tornadoes are so fucking destructive, you know. And these are things come out the blue, hit the ground. They might only be down for 5 minutes, 2 minutes. The destructive power of the wind, it's fucking terrible. And then it's getting back from it, isn't it? It's the reinstallation of power. It's the damage to the infrastructure that makes things difficult. The damage, the material spread across roads means that emergency services can't get to places and to do the jobs they need to do. The power companies, the gas companies, the water companies, they're all then struggling to try and get infrastructure back up. And it's at times like that we realise how we need those basic items. And that's where prepping can really come to its own. Having that gear prepped, having enough supplies takes you out of the emergency chain. It means you're okay, you can self-sustain, which means resources can go more to those people that desperately need it. So even just by having your preps, looking after yourself, you are assisting the system. You are being a hero in your own way and helping other people to get by. Because resources can be one of the most difficult things in those situations.
You'll probably find, Max, the reason why the farmer, you've not managed to get hold of the farmer yet is because during the day they're really busy.
This time, yeah, he's going to be flat out. He's going to be flat out. He's mate, best of luck there. Really do wish you luck.
He's been up to the farm, but he hasn't no draw yet.
Well, I always say, farmers are businessmen. Go cap in hand, right? Might not be money wise, but is there anything I can help with in way of payment? Help you with security, assist you with anything. I don't mind throwing in a few days, helping with fencing or doing a job that maybe you don't want to do yourself. I'll offer my labour. Quite often you'll find that'll help. Hi, log hoppers, how you doing up there in Scotland? Yeah, beware them haggai. It's breeding season for the haggai up there. They can be very aggressive this time of year.
John was saying the lady that was supposed to trigger the alarms was out of the office, so no warning sounded. But them is on paid administrative leave. Yay, grumbling here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good, is it?
No.
That's not good. You just
that's an important job. You can't just take it or leave it.
They them just have one job to do.
Yeah.
And they them bugging it up.
Well, you say that as well. We had that recently on the Isle of Wight where my mum lives. So the village or town of Ryde has a very narrow valley, and at the bottom of the valley, every year for years, it's flooded. Okay. And the local authorities spent an absolute fortune building a flood defence, which was a gating system so that basically barriers and gates could be put out to stop this particular area flooding. And the person that was in charge of that decided to be right over the other side of the island when they had a flood. And so none of the barriers got put out. All these millions spent and nothing happened because somebody was somewhere else. So yeah, it happens, mate.
Yeah, one job, push the dang button. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It puts to shame, really. I was going to have a little moan about I had a catering job to do today. A bit gusty out there. It blew me paper plates all over the place. There's no point me moaning about that, is there?
No. In the context of things,
no.
You had a jolly.
I had a jolly, yes.
Stuart said that there's been another big power cut today in France. Oh. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more of this. I think we've got more to come. I definitely think we've got more to come.
Yeah, they're right, Three Dog. They are hard that they poop black pudding.
Yeah.
The haggai.
But you can't eat those bits, though.
No.
That for a minute. So, yeah. Shall I get my political bit out of the way?
So hopefully there's not too many mozzies up there for you, modern.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get a bit political now. Normally, I don't do politics on the channel. This isn't aimed at any one political group at all. This is aimed at them all because they're all deceiving bastards. So, great news this week. Great news. The Supreme Court has decreed, no, you can camp on Dartmoor. Absolutely wonderful. Somebody once said to me, there is always misdirection. So whenever they put out a bit of good news on a certain subject, look the other way to find out what's slipping through. And I've been digging in about today, and I was looking at the Crow Act. Shh, Willow. So I'm going to ask people to stop quoting the Crow Act. Do not quote the Crow Act next time you're talking about your freedom to be outdoors, because I've got some info for you that might you off. Okay, so the Crow Act is actually biased towards one particular group of people that fought for it. I'll give them their due. They fought for it. They've got it. But there's some new rules coming in. Okay. If you go and look at the website as well, you'll see it on the government website. Changes to legislation Crow Act 2000. Changes to be brought in before 25th of May 2025. Kept a bit quiet about that, didn't I? All right. So, Schedule 2. This is the bit that's important to you. And this is, as usual with these sort of things, you know, right at the top, you've got the right to roam. You've got the right to roam. And then hidden right down the bottom, well, there's schedules. Always look for the schedules. Schedule 2, restrictions to be observed when exercising the rights of access on open heath, moorland and down under the Crow Act. So this is only areas affected by the Crow Act. So that's open heath, moorland and down, not fenced in, not owned, not farmed. Okay, these are the areas they're talking about. The places that we call wild. Okay, these restrictions are to be observed by all peoples when exercising their rights of access. Section 2 does not entitle a person, no, Section 2, right? Section 2 says you have no right or entitlement to be on the land if a person is A, and I'll read these all out slowly and carefully, and some of them make sense, some of them you're going to love. A, Section A, ride or drive any vehicle other than a mobility aid. Fair play. B, use a vessel or a sailboard on non-tidal waters. So no canoeing, no boating, no paddling, no sailboards on lakes, rivers, non-tidal waters. Interesting. Cannot have with you any animal other than a dog. So no walking your sheep, your goat, your pig, your pet hamster,
or your ferret, yeah,
or your ferret, yeah, or your ferret if you're going out there. Okay. D, if the person commits a criminal offence, you're not allowed out there. No, obviously I'll go with that one. Okay. It is illegal to light, tend, or partake in any act that could cause fire. Yeah. So that can be read many ways.
Honey badger, yeah.
It makes sense. I do agree with it, as long as there's a little bit of common sense with it. Intentionally or recklessly takes, kills, injures, disturbs any animal, bird, or fish. Yeah, I agree with that. You shouldn't be hunting somebody you don't have permission to hunt.
No.
Intentionally, recklessly damages, takes birds' eggs or nests. Yeah, I agree with that one. That's okay. That's been there for years. I can go with that. Section H. You may not feed livestock. It's a criminal offence to do that in these areas. I sat there, hang on, it just says to feed livestock. Does that include the farmers? Does that include the conservation groups that are putting livestock out there for grazing? You know, how's that going to be interpreted down the line? Now, here's one for you wild swimmers. Yeah, you are forbidden to bathe in non-tidal water. Lakes, streams,
brooks.
No, not on Dartmoor, not on Bodmin, not in places like that. No,
Scotland.
No. To engage in any operation connected with hunting, fishing, snaring, taking, destroying of animals, birds, fish, or has the equipment or instruments designed for the above. What are those instruments? Now, don't get me wrong. I can understand the Act says, you know, you're not wandering around there with your 12 bore because you have no permission to be there with your 12 bore. Get that.
Well, Three Dog Night was saying, you know, what happens about if a person's walking, identifies as a cat that day?
Exactly that.
He's screwed then.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another interesting one. To have with them a metal detector. Not to be using it, to have it with you. Now, I know places where I could go metal detecting in that plot there legally, but then to get to the next plot, I'm going to have the metal detector with me. And there isn't a differentiation on any of this anywhere to say in your car, driving on the Queen's Highway, whilst travelling or being in that area.
Slung underneath your drone.
I know that's a little bit dubious, but there we go. We're getting on now because the list is quite long. L. Remove or damage, destroy any plant, root, shrub, or any part of the above. Yep, go with that. It is illegal to obstruct any drain or watercourse or open and shut any sluice gate that associated apparatus. Get that? Great. Without reasonable excuse to interfere with any fence, barrier, aperture or equipment designed for the safety of people and livestock.
They got a magnet.
Go with that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Fail to return any gate securely in the manner it was found. In other words, if you come to a gate and it's open, leave it open. And if it's closed, secure it in the same manner that you found it. Okay, well, that's cool. Live with that. To affix any bill, poster, placard or notice. Yeah, got that. Don't want to see that crap out there. Brilliant. Tell the council that. Don't stop putting up signs.
Yeah.
In relation to any lawful activity which any person is engaged, it is now an offence on adjoining land. It is an offence for you to do anything which is intended to have an effect of A, intimidating those people and preventing them from engaging in a legal act on adjoining land, or obstructing said activity or disrupting said activity. Yeah, cool.
What happens if you need a wild pea?
If you need a wild pea, yeah.
So it's a dogging area.
Underneath that, and without reasonable excuse, does anything to disrupt, whether it is intentional or not. So if you accidentally stray in something or so, you could be in trouble for it.
You walk to someone's picnic.
Yeah.
Here's the one right down near the bottom of the list in the small print. This is the one I want you to know about. To engage in organised games or camping or hang gliding or paragliding or parachuting, yeah, or is engaged in any other organised activity, event undertaken by him or another person for commercial gain.
I think so, John.
Now, camping has been slipped in
at the bottom,
right in the middle of a load of words and all the gumph and all the rest of it. It's just slipped it. It's literally, if you look it up on the website itself, it's almost like somebody's gone, where can we hide the word camping?
So you can't camp.
So then the government gives us another rundown. Okay. Secondary to that, they give you a basic set of rules. And this is the basic set of rules. Okay. So as it says, under the Crow Act, you cannot, in areas that are covered by the Crow Act, ride a bicycle or a horse, bring any animal other than dog, drive any vehicle, camp, play, hang glide, paraglide, parachute, use or have with you a metal detector, run a commercial activity including dog walking, trade or sell in any item, charge a visitor other than in parking. This is an interesting one. Film, photograph, or make a map. Okay?
Sorry. We've made maps all the time.
Yeah, remove, damage, or interfere with any way with any animal, plant, fish, or bird. Light or risk causing a fire. Damage hedges, fences, walk on crops. That you may not enter crops. You may not enter any field used for crops, even if it is fallow for a year beforehand. Okay. Gates must be left as found. Leave no litter. Do not disturb in any way livestock or wildlife. Do not post notice and do not commit any criminal acts. So there's a couple of things now. Hang on, I can't take photographs now.
Yeah, so you see a lovely picture of a
so if I'm up on
Vesta or
landscape or something. Yeah.
I'm up on Bodmin. I can't.
You can't prove that. That's it. You can't prove the big cats out there.
The telling point of this is this act was engineered by one organisation in the UK, not the government, one organisation that loves to have the countryside to itself. And I'm not even going to mention their name because I'm not getting into an argument about it. What you can do in big, this is a clue, in big letters, what you can do, you lucky people, is you may walk, you may sightsee, you may birdwatch, you may climb, and you may run. Dogs between the 1st of March, 31st of July, must by law be on a lead of no more than 2 metres to protect birds. Get that.
More like wildlife, stock.
And at all times when near livestock. Okie doke. Yeah, go with that.
So they can look at things, but we can't take a photograph.
Yeah.
Sorry, bird watchers take photographs.
Little paragraph at the bottom of it, which I do agree with. I do agree with, and I've always agreed with, because I come from farming stock myself. Farmers do have the right to restrict dogs from lambing fields and grouse moors now for up to 6 weeks, and I believe that's right. The old issue of people walking their dogs through lambing fields, yeah, that's got to come to an end, because that just causes problems. Right? The Crow Act then finish off by saying the Crow Act does not cover buildings and courtyards, land within 20 metres of buildings and dwellings, parks, gardens, power stations, power lines, wind and solar farms, quarries and mining workings, railways, tramways, golf courses, race courses, aerodromes, lawfully developed land or land that is due to be so. Land ploughed within the last year, land for crops or growing trees, temporary livestock pens, gallops and MOD properties. So all those areas, even if they're in the park, they're not covered by the Crow Act. You have no right to go and wander across them.
Lawrence says, what about Google Earth? They're definitely broken the law because they're always taking photographs.
Yeah. So
it's
these things always get slipped in. I suggest, don't take my word for it. Go and have a look at it. www.gov Crow Act. Read through it very carefully and start looking into the schedules, because there's lots of little bits being slipped in. Nobody's told us that it's going to be illegal to film out there or to take photographs. You know, this is starting to get to be a little bit of, let's just move that boundary, let's just move that barrier a little bit.
Good evening, Ray.
And yeah, and for those of you that maybe are ramblers and that, I've not got a particular argument with any particular rambler, but I do have an argument with their organisation, because their organisation wants it for themselves. They don't want anybody else out there, whether you might be a horse rider, a cyclist, a camper. They don't want you there. You're ruining their view.
As John said, no outdoor usage on any day that ends in a Y.
Exactly.
And Laura said, the one out, how will they enforce it? Well, they'd people that see you doing it have to take a photograph, and they're breaking the law then.
Well, it's been enforced now. So this week, 2 guys were arrested on the New Forest and charged for well, bear in mind, they were stupid enough to be in view of the road with a bloody great blue tent and a bloody great fire pit that they created themselves.
And they left chairs.
So they did sort of ask for it themselves. But yeah, it's one of those difficult things, isn't it? So what are my thoughts on it? So is it time for other countryside users to have their fair say? Well, it could be if we were organised as the Ramblers Association is. Oh, said it. But we would need to work with all. This is just my personal views. Okay, this is just my personal views, not organised. But we would need to work with all interested parties, from user groups, campers, hikers, green lane users, horse riders, cyclists, farmers, gamekeepers, parks authorities. We need to all come together and work together on this. Some areas do need protection. We've seen this in the Lake District, where the Crow Act came in and people just started walking off the tracks, and they've absolutely trashed the hills, damaged sites of scientific interest, nesting birds have been disrupted, and all the rest of it. We've got to be aware of that. It's all got to work as a balance, okay? But it needs to work so that everybody gets their fair share, everybody gets their pleasure, everybody's got their place. I don't see a reason why South Downs National Park couldn't designate certain areas for wild camping and that, even if it means they need to have the rangers up there twice a day just checking you're obeying the bylaws. Why not?
Exactly, 3 Dog. Why can't we have a common sense bill?
Yeah, the right to roam and the freedom to camp must be tailored with an understanding of the impact and responsibility and the damage that can be done. Hence, I said the Lake District. Okay. A small group of wrong-minded or silly people can absolutely trash it.
Yeah, they cut down trees and everything, didn't they?
We do need to put certain areas out of bounds to protect certain habitats, wildlife, and so forth, to give breeding areas and safe zones. One of the things the MOD does and does very well is having certain areas absolutely closed to everybody, military and civilian, because they're danger areas. I've worked within these areas and around them, and I've seen the diversity that is created in it. It becomes an absolutely safe habitat where nature can run its way. So there we go. I mean, there's loads I've written on there where I was getting into a bit of a rant. I do apologise about it, but that's what I've unearthed today. So again, the powers that be have gone, hey, look what we've done. It's wonderful. And while we're all looking at that, clapping, somebody else somewhere in a little office is going, this just the yes, we'll do this because they're not looking, and we'll do that. And this was all coming on the 25th today of May 2025.
So I didn't get in amongst that then, is that so? Because obviously across the moors, you've got byways, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you not drive them anymore?
The byways, right, they're trying to restrict the byways, the bridleways, and so forth. But under British law, they are roads. They are roads.
But we map them when we go across them.
Yeah. What we actually need to do is with the byways, fight back and say, no, it's a byway, it's a road. Maybe you shouldn't be walking on here.
Yeah.
Choose a footpath if you don't want to see a vehicle or interact with vehicles. Yeah.
Yes. The thing is, how it's starting here. I said, will it end up like that in Canada?
Yeah, you've got to watch out for these people. There are organisations and groups that claim to be, opening it up for everybody, and then once they become powerful enough, no, it's just their little select group that they want to be out there. So beware misdirection. It's one of those things. Anyway, enough of that. Is there a story? Let me fancy a little legend. Or shall I do that one?
Well, Matt, it's Gary has sorry, you have to excuse me. I'm just scrolling back.
Lock up is exactly right. Stay covert, stay hidden at all times.
Gary Lund said he says I've been missing, but been out on his new trike. He said your last video was great about Tarpac, ordered and placed on its way now, and Tarpac have kindly put in a thing to him thanking him and saying that they're going to upgrade his delivery because of the bank holiday.
Okay, so yes, so enough of a rant. Let's get on to another cheery subject. How do you fancy a story? How do you fancy a story? Okay, how do you fancy? A very good friend of mine at the camp, right, gave me some of these. Okay, they're all old issues, and I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed reading them. But I come across a short story. There's this whole section here on the legends of fire. There's one that appealed to me in particular, so you do excuse me whilst I read this. It's a gypsy folk tale. A gypsy folk tale which revolves around a rat named Yag tells of how he helped mankind attain the gift of fire. A long time ago, the gods believed that fire was far too dangerous to be used by man. Sounds like the government, actually. Although this wasn't a huge problem in the warm summers, it was incredibly cold and miserable during the winter, when the Rom or male gypsies travelled the roads. One such day, while a tribe was at its stopping place, the wise woman, who was looking towards the sun, declared that they could be warm all year if they had a piece of it. Overhearing this, one of the boys, Bocker, said that he would ask the gods for a piece of the sun. His brothers laughed at him, but the wise woman doubted the gods would help. However, Bocker was determined and set off with only the unbaked bread that his mother had given him for nourishment. After travelling for many days through valleys and over hills and across rivers and through forests, he heard a voice.
Yeah, Santa's back.
Yeah. A voice calling from a barn, politely asking for help. Looking into the barn, Bocker saw that it was filled with corn, which the farmer was storing following the harvest. There were also a large number of traps, one of which held a large black rat. The rat, named Yag, pleaded with Bocker, playing on the Romany views of freedom, to release him from the trap. Questioning the rat about taking the farmer's grain, he replied, "Grain is free. There is plenty for all. It is a gift from the gods. The farmer should not begrudge sharing such a small portion with a rat." Bocker agreed with this and released Jag, who said he was indebted and would travel with Bocker and help him on his travels. After many days, they came across a large clearing of wood, which just happened to be the meeting place for the gods. where a number of brightly coloured vardos, traditional gypsy caravans for those of you who don't know, were gathered together forming a circle. The gods sat within the circle, eating and drinking, singing, and generally full of merriment, clustered round a piece of the sun which was on the ground, radiating its heat and light in every direction. Above this was a tripod full of bubbling water. Suspended below there were skewered rabbits and hedgehogs, which were slowly cooking from the heat and giving out a wonderful, delicious aroma. Bocca's mouth watered and his stomach rumbled. He told Jag that this was his quest, and he was going to ask the gods for a piece of the sun that he could take home for his people. The gods were surprised when Bocca approached them and asked for some of the fire, and they told him he was welcome to eat and drink with them, but he was forbidden to take anything away. Jag, who had been on Bocca's shoulder, climbed down, found some vegetable roots to eat, while Bocca sat and ate with the gods. After eating, Bocca asked again if he could take a piece of the sun with him, but got the same response as before. Feeling depressed, he turned to leave. Jag finished gnawing on a vegetable root, scurried across, and picked up a fennel stalk lying at the edge of the ashes next to the piece of the sun. He picked it up in his teeth and scuttled off into the woods. The gods were amused by this and let him go. The thought of Jag having deserted him, choosing food over friendship, made Bocca feel even more dejected. He'd failed on his quest and would be ridiculed when he got home. It took him many hard, tiring days before he found his own tribe's vardos. Finally, he approached his family and was about to speak of his failure when he heard Jag at his feet say, "Give them the fennel stalk." A small wisp of smoke trailed from one end of the stalk. The soft pith core within the tougher outer smouldered from the fire from the sun. When Jag had taken with a little bit of blowing on the fennel, produced a good glowing ember from which straw, then wood was lit. And before long there was a wonderful pile of the sun blazing before the gypsy camp. The rat had helped Bocca just as he had promised, and in his honour the Romany word for fire was named after him. It is Jag. There we go. Nice little story. Probably a bit of history for the book. I'll be taking some more out of these. I do think it's quite a nice little story. Yeah, I like these tales and histories. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to put my conspiracy hat on before I read out my government thing, so they'll probably scan my brain now. Go a bit stupid.
Yeah, it's quite a nice little story. Hopefully there'll be some more in the other books.
Within that one, there is a Maori story as well, and a couple of others.
Native American, yeah.
And quite interestingly, in all the stories, the tool used to take the first flame is fennel. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah. So,
a little advert for you. Have trouble sleeping? Please go to Mitch's other channel. I can make you sleep.
I tell stories.
Hi, Sticks.
Right, so, and you've all seen my video this week, Tarpac, yeah, that wonderful bit of kit, equipment, great company, good guys, they're with us tonight. So they've contacted me and Kaz today, and Sticks. So I've a bit of information for you, so you might want your pens and pencils to hand. All right. They would like to thank you for all the orders received and the unbelievable support from Hampshire and Outdoors and Survival's channel and subscribers. Tarpac have issued a code for 10% off for the next month to you all. We will also be including future money off deals for new products we'll be releasing over the following months. Yeah. In brackets, field testing done properly takes time, sadly. It certainly does. Yeah, tell me about that.
And when you lose some film as well. Yeah.
When you buy anything from them, you will also go into a draw being run on the website for a Ridgeline Plus to be drawn on the 20th of June. Okay. There is also a set of there's also a set 6-foot guidelines as a giveaway for Mick to give out tonight, viewers. Yeah, so we've already planned that. So yeah, we'll see about that later on. Now, so the important thing for you as my subscribers is the code. Okay, so pens and pencils to hand, and I will give it out if anybody asks later on. The code you need to know is AB
in capitals.
216. Okay, AB 216. Now
that'll give you 10% off your order.
Yeah, and that will also automatically enter you into the draw. So again, yeah.
Oh, actually,
yeah.
Tarpax was saying anyone of the subscribers who already purchased this week from us, we will issue a credit with the shop. Again, thank you all.
There you go. Yeah. Cheers, Tarpax. Thank you for supporting
and
the channel.
Can you write it on the board?
I can write it on the board. In fact, I will write it in big letters on the board.
Put you through that.
The bod, it's AB 216. Mike, you might put it up a bit higher because to ball that
I'll
side.
sit like this. It's fine.
Yeah, if you put it
the other side.
The other
side do it again. Just write it again.
Or what about there?
How about at the top?
Yeah.
No, right.
That's it.
There you go. That's better.
That will give you a 10% off. Thank you very much, Tarpac. And I was speaking to them today, and they were saying that they put it on TikTok and they've had 1,000 views already.
Brilliant. And supporting a British company, British guys, ex-servicemen that are getting off their arse, doing something for themselves, making something that they like, they trust. And they've got some brilliant things in the offing.
Lawrence is subscribed and he's going to order it next month as he's going on holiday.
Yeah.
So Gary, did you manage
AB 216? That's it. Yeah. Cheers, Mucker. So So my mate, the log hoppers, they're on their adventures. They're right up the other end of the country, somewhere in Scotland. I won't mention where because they might want it kept secret. But yeah, they're having a high old time. The guy, I had a good chat to them today. The guys are doing really well, and I'd like to congratulate them on their channel and their success and how it's growing. Guys, I am a little bit jealous, but you do it. You do it. It's you're cracking it out, doing brilliantly.
We were speaking to Kitten Killer because he's obviously up that end as well. Yeah. And we were talking to the other night, and it was getting dark where we were, and he still had blue skies. And
they've had a couple of really good weeks up there in Scotland, actually. So hopefully the midges aren't too bad. All right, I'm going to go swig of my cider.
Yeah, we
chronically they are really good bits of kit. I mean, these guys thinking about problems, thinking about methods, and there's part of the military mindset in it. Because with military backgrounds, you're looking at kit, adapting kit, making kit usable, which is important.
You've even got it, haven't you, Jason?
It's a thought process that I quite often apply to. I made some notes here. So, okay, when it comes down to kit, or method and practice, right? This is what you got to think. Or this is how I think. Some of you might agree, some of you might disagree, but this is my thought processes. So what do I use? Well, that depends on what I'm doing. Yeah, some days I've got the time and the energy and the enjoyment of just going out and practicing some basic, primitive techniques, making cordage and all that sort of thing. It's wonderful fun, and it's great practice. It's great skills to make sure you've got. However, other days I'm on a mission. It could be that I'm going out to do search and rescue. It could be that I'm going out to do filming. It could be that I'm going out to set up an OP, wildlife management. It could be anything like that. In which case, I haven't really got the time or don't have the time to really faff about. What I want to do is get there, get set up, get covert. It might be that I'm out an hour before sunup, and I want to get everything rigged easily, simply before the sun comes up. And again, the other thing is it takes out as many variables as possible having kit like that. It's not something I use all the time, but it's there for missions. It's there for when I need it. It takes out that faff. The other thing is it takes out the error, the ability to have something go wrong, and things do. You want your kit to work perfectly. If you look at it this way, would you take a weapon straight out of a box into a combat zone? No, you wouldn't. You clean it, prep it, check it, strip it, put it back together, get out on the ranges, practice with it, zero with it until you've got the feel till you know it's going to work perfectly for you and it suits you. And if it doesn't, you exchange it and you get another one because it's essential kit. Same thing with boots. You get a new pair of walking boots. Do you put a new pair of walking boots on and walk 250 miles? No, you don't. You get your new pair of boots. You treat them to soften the leather to get it where you want it. You get into them. You do some little walks in them. You get them comfortable. And then you say to yourself, that's the right bit of kit. It will work for me. And it's the same thing with the Tarpac kit. I'm lucky I'm involved in the testing and development. Okay. But I find the kit works for me for those sort of things. It is something I've got it in a bag there. I've got it with my go bag, my emergency bag, which is if I get called out to do a search and rescue, I can dump that in the car, go. I know I've got a shelter. I've got a system that will set up and I can use it. I'll be showing you a video, use it in other methods for rigging different things, even on the ground where there's no trees. So again, it's having those bundles of kit that work efficiently. Same as first aid kit, isn't it? You select those few items that are going to work every time for each situation that you might need, okay? And you keep it applicable to what you need. If you're not trained to do heart surgery, don't take the heart surgery equipment with you, okay? Just take a plaster with you. You take what you need and adapt to it. The other thing you've got to remember is practice.
Very nice, Lawrence.
Whatever method, whatever piece of equipment, whatever technique you decide to have, practice it. Practice it till you're confident, till you're happy with it, till you can do it without even thinking, because you need to make it second nature. Because when the weather, conditions or an event is against you, you don't need to be thinking, how do I tie this or how do I do that? Lockhoppers can probably expand on this a lot more than I do. Having that perfectionist skills for severe environmental conditions, when you're out somewhere, the wind comes in and it all goes to shit, you need to be able to get out and act without thinking. Okay, military phrases that always come to mind: lack of prior planning and preparation leads to piss poor performance. It certainly do. Yeah, trying hard, follow easy. In other words, practice till you get it off pat, and then when you need it, comes second nature. Yeah. And if you get new kit, you order new kit, new item, could be tarp, boots, anything. Practice with it. Practice with it until you're happy with it before you take it out as that one piece of equipment. Okay. And I always personally have some sort of backup, because that stud Murphy is always out there waiting to throw a spanner in the works. Yeah. He's always watching you. Doesn't matter how perfect you've got it, Murphy's waiting and watching. Okay. If there's anybody out there called Murphy that I've just gone, what? I'm sorry if I've offended.
Right, no, Andy, you asked a question way back.
Sorry, Andy.
This is Jason. Jason is Muddy Ruts, the foodie. The last camp, he was the master chef.
Or as a lot of people call me, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, this is what Santa does when he's not working at Christmas.
Perhaps you'd like, a couple of people asked about the recipe. Would you like to?
No, I will.
No, just
which one was that? The one I done in the last camp?
Yeah, just that generally what it was.
It was a Moroccan beef stew, but you finish it. It's the weirdest thing. You finish it off by cracking eggs on top of it and then baking it until the eggs are cooked. But it works. It's very nice.
A bit like a tagine.
Yeah, a bit like a tagine, but not. You don't cook it as long.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not very few ingredients involved in it. It's paprika and cumin, onions, garlic. That's about
Jason did. You've cooked on all the camps, haven't you?
Yes.
And
yeah.
I'll prove to you
what
you can do on a campfire, because you've done lamb, haven't you?
Yeah, we had
Stew.
Moroccan lamb last time.
Yeah.
I like Moroccan for some reason. I keep
Yeah.
Moroccan, don't I?
Well, I tell you what, Moroccan food actually suits a camp, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does.
It's not overly spicy, but it's got enough
yeah.
spice. It's quite pleasant. The other thing is probably because
Bill.
Moroccan food cooked a lot of time over charcoal burners and things like that.
Do. Yeah.
So
everything's cooked.
Yeah.
Hi, Cujo.
yeah, it's methods that suit the environment.
The environment.
Yeah.
Well, next camp it'll be a full roast dinner on a fire.
I'm looking forward to this. So, full roast dinner on an open fire.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking forward to that one. There we go. So then now you know the menu for the next camp. It's a full roast dinner on an open fire.
Start booking.
This is where the special guest was today. Cujo would like to say, what is one of your three choices for a desert island? What is one of your three choices for a desert island?
Right, it's not really a desert island, but I've had my eyes on the Isle of Lundy for many, many years.
Yeah. It can be quite secluded. You can make a little fortress.
Yeah, it's big enough to sustain a group of people quite easily.
Obviously Tara does do a full roast, don't you?
Yeah.
So I didn't get what you meant. What I would take on a desert
island.
island.
I think so. Yeah, what would your choices for a desert island?
Oh, my choices for desert island.
A nice blonde.
I don't think. Well, I nearly said you wouldn't eat that, but I shall back away from that one.
Oh, desert island. What would I take to a desert island? God, depends on the desert island where it is. Right. All right. Let's get this basically. My British Army survival knife, ferro rod.
I think you meant food, but yeah.
Food.
Two goats, male and female.
You've got it right there. 2 goats, half a dozen chickens.
Yeah.
Goats
will eat anything, so it doesn't matter what's on the desert island. They'll eat it.
Yeah.
And they'll produce other goats, obviously, which you can eat all.
And milk and butter.
And milk and butter, exactly that.
Yeah. And chickens produce eggs. And if they don't work hard enough.
And they get rid of the birds.
Yeah.
Desert island survival is a tricky one because everybody's got a different idea of a desert island, really. A deserted island is more my goal, which could be pretty much anywhere. But yeah, you want to be in a fairly temperate climate, really.
But you want vegetation as well around. You don't want just a sand island with one palm tree.
That would be my luck. That would be my luck. It would be like some of the Pirates of the Caribbean. Mickey on a desert bar in the middle of nowhere.
Nothing but fish.
Trying to dig out the rum. So, yeah, desert islands. I'll probably go with what you said there, Jace. You know, couple of goats and some chickens, and then try and sustain yourself from there. Again, obviously, you're on an island, so you can feed from the sea. Hopefully, you're already talking about somewhere with a clean water source. If not, I'm going to build the world's biggest distillery.
One with a bar. Right, you come out with that one, Kiwi.
A big old solar still, and even then, it always tastes a bit brackish.
So Gary was saying his son's moving up to explorers from scouts. He's already planned his Duke of Edinburgh, so he's looking at his dad's kit, and he's also passed his junior black belt. Well done to your son, Gary.
Brilliant. Well, Gary, first piece of advice I think I can give you there, if he's looking at doing his Duke of Edinburgh, is tell him to save his money and buy a good pair of walking boots and get them worn in. Secondly to that, a good pair of walking socks and get them worn in as well.
Go back to the earlier part of the video and go through all the things you can't do. It's
there's a bar. Yeah.
We've been to Nairn, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been to Nairn.
We stayed in there's two it's caravan, a mobile it's a holiday place, and we stayed in Nairn, and then we went out exploring all around Dumfries and Galloway.
And there's it's again, you could survive.
It'd be hard to survive in a bar, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We never went to the bar because we don't tend to
drink.
Yeah.
Socialise like that.
Andy,
we get our own stuff in.
I'm trying something out this year, quite new to me. So for years, I've used silk walking socks underneath my wall socks. They work absolutely brilliantly.
Excellent.
But this year, I'm actually trying bamboo socks.
Yes.
And I am finding they are superb. Just thin bamboo socks. I'm having no issues with them, and they're working very, very well.
You do have to soak them a lot, though, because it's a bit hard when you first get them.
Right, Adam says, I've been working on my food supply. I've come to the problem of long-term storage of fat and fat supply. I need a deer, 3 chickens or goat a week. Any suggestions?
Bloody hell.
What, you're eating that?
Hi, Simon.
I take it you're supplying food for a group then?
Storage. Have you thought of oil from the grains, etc.? Like
yeah.
So
if you're
he's been working on a food supply, and I've come to a problem of long-term storage of fat and fat supply.
Right. So anything that's fatty, you've got to obviously take the air out. Oxygen is the killer.
It's got to be the best method, isn't it?
Sorry. Either can it, jar it. Even if you jar it, put it in jars. You want to put like let it cool it down, fridge it down so it's solid, and then maybe melt a good layer of wax over the top of it, because you need to seal it completely. You don't want any oxygen getting into it. As soon as oxygen gets in there, it's going to spoil.
Right down. Yeah, exactly. People are a little bit delighted. Well done, mate. Thank you, mate. So again, bear in mind that when you put your fat into your jars and that, exactly the same as with canning anything else, you're then going to bring it up to a temperature to neutralise any bacteria that are in it. So you're going to put it into a bain-marie, you're going to bring it up exactly the same as you would with any of your other preserves, boiling environment, usually 10-20 minutes in it, and then let it cool back, then seal it with your wax, put your lid on. And I'd seal it with wax just before I put the lid on.
Please don't use a perfumed wax. You want a plain
beeswax. Beeswax is the best. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, 3 Dog Night. He's just ordered the Tarpac Innovations Ridge Line system and used the code, and it works.
Brilliant. Thank you, mate. Well, I don't know why I'm thanking you. It's not my business. But
well, no, because
it's nice to feel that there's a tester. I mean, when I first got approached, I was like, with any company that approaches me, a bit dubious. Like, really? You know? We had a good long chat, and I tried the kit out and spoke to them about their ideas and their methods, and was impressed because there was none of this, oh, we've got the greatest thing in the world. It was like, we've got something good, but we want to make it better, and we want to get it out there. And I was like, yeah, cool. Why? Because we work with it, and it's good, and we like it, and we think other people would enjoy it. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry you're not well, lovey. I was going to say, yeah, because we went out. I went with him and Tarpac Innovations on the other day to make some videos about using the entire kit. And there was a lovely. He used one of your hammocks you gave him, Max, and it was a nice shot of him on the hammock. And Willow jumped up on his lap because you all love Willow, and Willow's Willow. And it didn't come out, did it? I think he's gone to. He's on the top of the stairs.
That's a problem now. Yeah. I get the camera out, and Willow's like, me, take a picture of me. Great little character.
Well, actually, Simon, Tarpac Innovations are actually on here with us at the moment. So awesome. Yeah. Simon would like to know, he needs some of their kit. Any jungle lines?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the guys over at Tarpac would quite happily have a look into doing jungle lines for him. It's a very popular piece of equipment that a lot of people want and like. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure if you have a chat to them, they could come up with it. In fact, they're on here with us now, so I've no doubt they'll be sitting there with their notepads going, jungle lines.
Because I know they're looking into the sleeves for the trees, aren't they?
Yeah.
Chatting with your mum.
Kiwi's going to make some of Chris's
God.
cider. Yeah.
Oh. He's going to do a live brew video.
Oh, yeah. God. What, not that stuff that Chris brought down last night?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. That went on forever, that stuff.
I reckon Kiwi won't be walking out the door afterwards.
No.
Hi, Katrina. Hope you're good. Yeah.
It's got to just come off there a second.
Yeah, very solid. 3mm good. Okay. Yeah, I should make notes of that for you. Jungle lines in 3mm.
Jungle lines.
Yeah.
Explain to me what jungle lines are.
Right. So jungle lines is where you take a piece of cordage. Yeah. And you knot it at set distances all the way along. So you've got two pieces of cordage basically, so that you've got a gap in there. And what you can then do is you can slip the knots back through. When you put tension on it,
you can just
pinches the line.
Yeah. I've seen the ones. I know what you mean now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, very popular bit of kit. Dyneema, yeah.
They actually sent a message to Tarpac.
Thank you, Dad. So
keep that there.
Send that message off to Tarpac for you. And again, I'll reiterate, message from Tarpac, right? For all the orders received and the unbelievable support from Hampshire Outdoors Survival and its subscribers, Tarpac have issued a code for 10% off for the next month to you all. We will also be included in future money off deals for new products, and which we will be releasing over the following months. Field testing done properly takes a bit of time, sadly, it certainly do. You will also go into a draw being run on our website for a Ridgeline Plus to be drawn on the 20th of June. There is also a set of orange 6-foot guidelines as a giveaway for Mick to give to one of you tonight. And we've already decided how we're going to do that.
Yeah, so one of you lucky devils will tonight
is going to get yourself a set of 6-foot guidelines. And there is a code, which is just above Jason's head there, AB216. And that is the 10% off code for anybody who wants to drop into Tarpac. And guys, even if you're not in the market for buying anything, do me a favour, drop over to their website, have a look. They got a little membership page. Sign up, okay? Show them a bit of support. It's a very, very small British company, just started out, doing their best to push forward.
And some of the up and coming innovations they come out with, you're going to really, you wouldn't be impressed already, but
there's a couple of items we're sworn to secrecy on, but I am bloody impressed. One of which is a real game changer.
John said, did you ever get to try the Jungle Knot product lines that he sent you?
Yes, I did, and they work bloody well. Great bit of kit. Jungle Line products and that, absolutely worth their weight in gold. Okay, any kit that you've got like that is stuff you need to practice with. It's one of these things. All gear. Oh, there you go. Hi there, mate. If you were looking to introduce Jungle's things that all down to the cordage. No, exactly. Now, this is one of the things Tarpac are doing. They're very, very strict on their materials they source, i.e. the lines and that. I kid you not, when I walked into their development room, and there is like 50 rolls of paracord, each one from different manufacturers. It's been shredded, tested, weight tested, checked for tension, diameters, all that lot. They've spent a bloody fortune in research into paracords until they found companies that could do a good quality paracord with the strength they wanted, the durability, and also the consistency throughout the cordage. Same thing with all the materials they've used. It's doing a lot of research into it.
So Lawrence said if it's good for you, it's good for them.
Brilliant.
Because Jason's got he's got the
for my tailgate tent.
That's what I'm trying to think. Tailgate tent.
Back of the Ranger.
And again, it's, you know,
I might get some for my scooter for cover it.
Yeah.
likewise, if I mean the website's there, any of you guys have got any ideas, you've got something in particular you're after along that lines, hit them up. These guys are really nice. They'll chat to you. They'll say, you know, yeah, we can produce that, or at the moment it's not something we're looking into. They'll be open and honest with you, but they're always looking for feedback. They're looking to share. They also want to know, what do you need? What do you want? What are people looking for? What are the items of kit that you can't get these days that are, don't get me wrong, you can buy anything on Temu, you can buy anything on Amazon, but it's always a quality issue. Is it going to last? Yeah. Is it going to be made to a standard that you can think, yeah, I could bet my life on that? And that's one of the things for all of us to all consider in our kit. If we're going to go out, especially in winter, or you're going out into a harsh environment, you've got to be able to trust that kit.
I like the way you pulled that thing and it just went.
Yeah, you wouldn't buy your climbing ropes from Temu, would you? Okay. And believe you me, I've seen climbing ropes for sale on Temu, but I'm not.
Or harnesses, no way.
No, nor the harnesses.
Yeah, you have to look.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, log hoppers, yeah, great. You're going to like these guys, military ethos guys. These guys have been out a while, but it's the military ethos into their kit. They put the same thought in there. It's got to work, got to be good quality, got to be reliable, okay, and made as light as efficient, but without making it stupid light. The ratchet system on the guidelines, that was fascinating. They must have 60 of these ratchet things from all over the world from different manufacturers that they've stripped, taken apart, looked at. The two priorities: it must have all metal working parts inside and must be light as possible. So all the plastic ones go into a pile. Anything with plastic internals goes into a waste pile. And they finally found a company that did them with an anodized aluminium outer, all metal interior. But the nice thing is actually the plates are screwed together. Now, the outer plates being screwed together means you can actually strip it, clean it, maybe oil it, maybe take care of it, look after it. So again, like any good piece of equipment, you want to be able to strip it, okay? It's just one of those, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a stripper all the time. You give me any bit of kit, I'll strip it down and want to know how it works and look inside it and that.
Sorry, could I just answer someone?
Yeah, Gary.
Gary, yes, I'm looking at doing some more type of ration foods. I wouldn't be able to sell them. I'd have to go through a process of getting them tested and all sorts. It's not just I make them and sell them to you, because if I poison one of you, which God forbid I've never done,
cheers, Lawrence,
then I could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, there's lots of.
So the only way I would do it is by doing the videos, showing you how I would do it, and for you to then do them yourselves.
Yeah.
You take that responsibility on yourself then.
But then it's better to have. You can then sort of change your recipes to how you want.
I'll just show you the basics, and then you can adapt them to how you would like to do them. But yeah, I will be doing some more very shortly. I mean, the last lot were just it was a bit of seeing how far I could push it.
Yeah.
And it worked quite well. They were very tasty and very good, better than what you get in the shops.
Well, Andy B.
Well, Andy, whichever you...
Orange or black? I mean, orange, you're less likely to trip over it.
Yeah, I go for the orange. I'm not covert these days. If I'm going covert, then I might use... I'm not going to be putting up a hammock, to be honest with you, and a top.
You'll be under a bush somewhere.
Yeah. I like the orange because it stands out. I'm not going to lose it in environments and all the rest of it.
With the wine.
So that's why I personally go for orange. But they do a black for those that wish to go stealthy. But I will say to you, if you've got all black, you've got to bug out in the night or something.
And when you're diving around
all over the place.
If you're diving around your bag trying to find it out, you're less going to like to find the black one.
I personally like the orange, but they do understand there are people that are going to want stealth systems, so they've gone with a black. The other thing is, if you've got a particular colour that you desperately want something, have a chat to them. I had a chat to them. They said there is maybe a chance, depending on orders, depending on how busy they are, depending on whether they can actually source it, of being able to make bespoke colours. However, they, at the moment, for the size of their organisation and that, they don't want to go down that road because it will be quite difficult. But if it's a specific order, have a chat to them, see what they can come up with. Okay. At the moment, what their concentration on is doing a simple line of excellent quality. They do not want to get to the point where quality has to drop. They're not going to do that. I even said to them, if you've got big enough, would you sell it out to a Chinese company to fabricate? And I said, no, absolutely not. We want to keep this small, bespoke, and simple. What they do offer you is if you need lines made and you need different lengths, yeah, just speak to them, hit them up.
You might well tell Living Lavoo, because he's just come in about the Tarpac. Living Lavoo, there's going to be a giveaway from Tarpac tonight. But also,
okay, so Lavoo, I got this today from Tarpac. For all the orders received and the unbelievable support from Hampshire Outdoors and Survival and its subscribers, Tarpac have issued a code for 10% off for the next month to you all. We will be including future money off deals for new products we will be releasing over the following months. Field testing done properly takes a little time. You will also go into a draw being run on our website for Ridgeline Plus to be drawn on June the 20th. There is also a set of orange 6-foot guidelines as a giveaway for Mick to give to one of you tonight. But I've got that sorted. That's all organised.
We've already done that.
Yeah. So the code you want is AB216. Okay.
And you'll get 10% off.
And anybody that's already ordered, okay, what they're going to do is have a look. If you're a subscriber to my channel, they will give you a credit for that 10%.
They just released something on the pitch. About the reflective.
Yeah, Max Tarbacker said the only thing they can't do is use cordage with reflective strands, sadly, because they're ratchet after a while, shreds them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they've been testing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Owen, for the code.
Yeah. Oh, test. And again, it's that military ethos. Test it to destruction. Yeah. I've never seen a bloke happy to see something go ping. Yeah.
Let's get Willow his own little set, because
little lead set.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Excellent. Right, I'm going to have a swig of my cider and read back through some of the comments.
Yeah, I recently did a vid using a foam type silver reflector back sheet for an underquilt. Maybe a shape type of this would make a great lightweight underquilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
good idea.
Could do 3 dog night.
Yeah. Underquilts, that's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, my first underquilt basically was a British Army issue sleeping bag. And what I did was bunch the hood up at one end. That went up one end of me to be hammock. And then I snipped down to the foot box, and that went over the other end and basically just laced up. And that was my underquilt.
Andy B, you little butter of you. He said, how are you doing the giveaway? Unrelated. Did I say how handsome you look tonight?
The giveaway's all already organised. There is a system in hand, a fair and just system. Yeah, good joke, squaddy proof, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely squaddy proof.
Yeah.
Jess is always up for
some
Scottish
we've got our fingers crossed for you
testing.
that everything goes all right with Elton, Max.
Yeah. Mate, hopefully, I've got my fingers crossed. All you can do is go and be open and honest.
He won
and
lines at the camp, didn't he?
Yeah. And one of the things I'd like to say to people as well, when it comes to permissions to wild camp and that, or permissions to use somebody's land, just always bear in the back of your mind, that it might be a big 1,000-acre farm, but it's no different to your garden at the end of the day. That is somebody's pride and joy. That is something they work hard on. That's something they put a lot of love and care into. So, sometimes you just got to think to yourself, would you, if you had some hairy oik turn up at your front door saying, oik, can I camp in your rhododendron bush? How would you feel about it? So, I've always said to people, when dealing with farmers are businessmen. They're always looking for a bargain. They're always looking for being able to save a few pennies. I've always offered them labour. Yeah, I've never talked about shooting or hunting when I first speak to them. Okay, I always say, because that will always twitch them up straight away. You explain to them that all you want to be able to do is spend the odd night under tarpaulin or under in your hammock. You'll obey any rules they've got. If they don't
and
want
you're willing
fire,
to keep an eye out while you're there to catch people that aren't,
Yeah, in return, you will help them police their land, and also you're prepared to throw in a bit of labour if they need a hand with anything, whether it's fencing, whether it might be a bit of land management, whether it might be a bit of stock work. Yeah, you're prepared to throw in and help out, and that I'll apply by any rules you want, mate. I'll give you my number. I'll let you know when I'm coming up. I'll let you know when I'm using it. Just be open, honest, and decent, and just remember, how would you feel if it was your land? What would your thought processes be?
I mean, quite often, if they got a pair of eyes up there, keep an eye out for people that may be going in, helping themselves to wood, etc., etc. Yeah.
Tell him also right from the beginning that if he gives you permission, you'll accept the fact that at any point, if he's not happy, he can just turn around to you and say no, and you will not.
Exactly, Simon.
Be there again, yeah.
Especially with things that we had in Guildford. They use natural grazing by cattle.
Yeah.
And the farmer come to check on his cattle the other day, and someone had butchered one.
Yeah.
And taken the meat. Unfortunately, it had all the chemicals.
Yeah, this is one of those I'd like to mention now, actually.
Yeah,
we've hit this subject before. Okay, so anybody that lives in the Surrey, Hampshire borders who gets offered dirt cheap beef in the next few weeks, turn it down straight away. The reason being, this animal was butchered and slaughtered in a conservation area. Somebody went out into the field, killed the animal, not humanely, butchered it there and then on site, cut up the meat, took it away.
But
that's bad enough.
Yeah,
that's bad enough. Now, the problem is that animal is on a 66-day prohibition order. What that means in farming, there are certain antibiotics, there are certain treatments, there are certain wormers that you give these animals that for 66 days they cannot, until tested, go into the human food chain because these chemicals are dangerous to humans. One of which, I guarantee, if you ingest it, you will be sterile, and not just sterile for now, sterile for life. Some of these chemicals can kill because their doses, the dosage is for a very large animal, weighs over half a ton, rather than you with your svelte couple of 100 pounds. So, it's one of the issues that we've had in farming for years. It's like the sheep rustling.
The sheep rustling all the time out on the moors, especially DARTMOOR and that.
All the time. And if those animals have just been wormed or they've just been treated, they are highly toxic to you. Well, I say toxic to you. They are, the chemicals with them are toxic. Some of those chemicals are nasty to people. That's why they put 66-day prohibition orders on them, because that gives a time for the chemical to work out the animal's process or out the animal's body. The other thing is you don't know what the animal's being treated for.
No.
Right? There are numerous nasties,
foot and mouth and God knows whatever else.
Neospora, it could be any numerous parasites, all sorts. So again, that meat going into the food chain without going through the correct processes, being checked by a veterinarian and that. I mean, even as a deer manager, we don't just shoot a deer, chop it up, flog it on.
You got a chest for liver, fluke,
I had to do
everything.
course on course. I had to know how to inspect the liver, the heart, the kidneys, the intestines, the lungs for diseases, check the muscle, the lymph nodes, the glands for diseases that can transmit to human beings. Right? That as animals then had to be stored, or that meat had to be stored correctly, had to be butchered in a correct manner, in a correct place with the correct facilities, had to be kept at set temperature before it left me, and it had to be certified. So again, it's not as easy as some people think. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, Adam. It's not often heard of that someone's taken a cow.
Yeah.
It's usually sheep are rustled, or they'll get into a deer farm and take the deer. But it's not very nice for a cow. And
you don't go down Cornwall, it's pigs.
Yeah. We don't go there. Just don't even go there. Right. And the other problem is, and it is sad to say, to slaughter an animal in that manner in front of the rest of the herd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know not everybody understands my thoughts on this, but animals are sentient beings. They do pick up on pain, suffering, and that they are empathetic. It's a bloody terrible thing to say. All I'm hoping the person that actually did it has taken it home, had a good scoff, and at the moment is lying on the floor wondering why both his testicles have fallen off.
Yeah.
Right? I hope it absolutely ruins their life. All the people that are involved with it. In fact, I hope it actually ruins your life because it's sickening. You know, I've got zero tolerance to cruelty to anything in any way.
Unfortunately, we got a lot of because you see him walk around Fleet Ponds, and there's some little buggers at the moment are going around with catapults.
Getting the ducks.
Well, they're injured. They killed a goose, and badly injured a swan. They headshot it with a catapult.
Hence, at the moment, I'm staying away from Fleet Ponds, one of my favourite walks, because I will be honest with you, I cannot tell you how I would react if I found somebody doing that. You know,
I got offered. I was parked up over there once, and there was one evening the lad was walking back from the pond. I thought he's got something in his hand there. Doesn't look right. And he clocked me, saw that he had something. And he goes, "Oh, do you want a duck, mate?" He'd been over there poaching.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like it. It's easy to spate of it at the moment, doesn't it? Around all we've got quite a lot of waterways, haven't we?
Yeah.
Rivers, and there's no need for that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for hunting, and I hunt myself, but there's the rules of humanity, decency to the animal. There has to, if you hunt, there has to be a level of respect towards the animal, a level of care. And definitely a level of humanity. That one shot you take has to be confident that it is a clean, quick, and decent end.
Well, not just that. I mean, especially like for ducks, for instance. If that duck's paired with a drake, they've probably got little
they've got no one to protect them from the heron and everything
so you're
else.
taking that one parent away from the ducklings. There's times to do it, isn't there?
Yeah, there is times. Well, that's why you have seasons on things. That's why you have seasons on duck. You have seasons on deer. You don't take. You don't damage.
Hi, Ian. How you doing?
I mean, one of the worst things I've had myself is coming across somewhere where somebody has taken a doe that's carrying fawns. You know, that's not a nice thing to come across, and it ain't right.
No.
We'll let you off for being
late.
Ian.
How you doing, mate? Ian, I might be popping in and seeing you on the...
Like it, Cujo.
I think it's about the 11th of July, if you're about, mate. I've got to drop my mum's mate down to the ferry, so I'm coming down to Portsmouth, drop her down at the ferry. I might drop down for a cup of coffee before I come back, if you want. Say hi, catch up with you, see how you're doing.
Lawrence, it's not just ducks, it's carp as well, isn't it?
It's anything.
Yeah.
It's anything. There's
carp, pike, perch.
Yeah.
I think that was a lot of the time, especially a while ago, is a lot of the Polish lads were going out because that's what they eat, isn't it?
Well,
especially around Christmas.
Yeah, this is difficult, isn't it? Back in their own country, I mean, I've had the discussion where they've said, you know, I don't understand how you catch and release when we catch and we eat, but then they have better resources than we do.
Yeah.
So the problem is, all our lakes and that are
big money, isn't it? It's big money in carp fishing.
In carp, but not just big money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it. I'm trying to remember his name now. The chap that ran Bosaw, he's passed now, unfortunately. His wife runs it on his bar. That guy worked for 15 years to create his lake, build it up, get a name for it, and to actually make
lots of competitions.
And he doesn't make a brilliant living out of it, but he makes made a living out of it. And I've watched the work he put into it. So to have somebody suddenly take out his couple of his best specimens, and as he had one evening where he would come up to check the lake, and a couple of lads that were fishing there had a barbecue going with a carp on it. And as he said, he wasn't just angry at the fact that they'd done it. He said it was seeing something that he put so much work and effort into, just going to the table. He said it broke his heart.
But those lakes he had they weren't huge, but they were lovely, and you saw all sorts of animals and that around there.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah. Well, the interesting one was up there. Yeah, we always say nature controls itself. Well, he had an issue with cormorants. They started coming in and were taking all his young fish, and he applied for a license from DEFRA to shoot the cormorants. Okay, that reduce their numbers, protect his stock, which he got the license, and 2 days before he was due to go up and start doing it, the first two kites turned up, red kites. And red kites will not have any other form of predator in their area. Now, kites don't take from the water. Yeah, the red kites don't take from the water. But what he started doing was he realised that the kites were chasing the cormorants off, so he created a feeding station for the kites. And before he knew it, he had like 10 kites there. No cormorants at all. The cormorants turned off, and the kites absolutely thrived there because he was protecting them. They could nest there quite happily. It's a water source. There's plenty of wildlife, rabbits, game around. Plus, he's also helping them with a bit of feeding.
I believe when we were up near Snowdon, there was a kite feeding place, wasn't there? You can go in, and the bloke comes out, and all the food's in a digger bucket.
Yeah,
and he's
just flinging
it. It's the red kite in Britain. That is a proper reintroduction, survival.
But now we've got the white-tailed kite.
Yeah, white-tailed kite. Yeah. Bringing the kites back in Europe. And again, people will say, "Oh, kites," but they take things. Kites don't. Kites are a carrion feeder. Okay, they will feed off of carrion. And believe you me, it's something we need in the UK. They will take very small animals like mice and rats and that. But again, like the buzzard, a lot of people see a big bird and think it's immensely strong on that. The weirdest thing in the world is you see a buzzard on the floor, you pick it up, it weighs nothing. It weighs absolutely nothing. A buzzard does not have the ability to take a small dog. There's no weight to a buzzard at all. And again, buzzards, not interested in taking live prey unless they've really got to. Their favourite thing is actually bugs. Yeah. So they'll look for rabbit carcasses, land on a rabbit carcass, roll it over and eat the creepy crawlies from under it before they even think of having a go at the rabbit. But you see this thing cruising around in the sky with a huge wingspan and people think, "Oh, blimey, my poor little dog." Don't ever confuse it with eagles, though, because eagles will take your dog.
Yeah, you're right, Jess. The trouble is, people, when they go out and forage, they forage wrong. And they end up taking everything. Like I say, the fish are not biting because they've been taken. It's like people see, mushrooms, take every single one, but you have to leave some to create the fairy rings to build them up again.
Yeah, you'd have to allow them to spore.
You wouldn't take every pheasant, because if you did that, you'd have no pheasants.
Oh, we saw that. We were actually chuffed to see that. Right, so we all know about pheasants. They're reared to be shot, but within the countryside world, you get what we call the wildies. And wildies are those lucky buggers that survive the shoot and have gone on to breed and produce wild birds. And they become pretty clever at avoiding the shoot and the season. That's why we've got such a large population of wild pheasants in the UK, and partridge, funnily enough. And when we were out this week, we saw a male and female pair just mooshing around along a hedgerow. And I said to Caroline,
she was so pale, wasn't she?
There's your wildies. They'll breed this year. That'll be a small brood of probably 4 to 6.
We saw quite a few pheasants in the field, and all the males had almost like cream colour wings. Yeah. With the normal sort of head, and all the females were quite pale.
Like most
Andy, you're right there. Don't touch mushrooms unless you're 100% confident what it is. 100%, mate. Absolutely 100%. For any plant, anything you're putting in your mouth out there, you're
not sure what it is.
Yeah.
I've had, and again,
if in doubt, chuck it out by catering.
A bit late in the season now, but garlic testing. I said it earlier in the year. Please, if you're out picking wild garlic, right, don't just rely on the sniff test. No. Because if you've been picking garlic and you pick anything else, sniff your fingers, you're going to smell garlic.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. It doesn't work quite as.
Lawrence says, if you're ever down Reigate Way, let him know. It would be great to meet up properly.
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
No.
It's only up the road.
Yeah. As I always just point out, don't even pick a mushroom, because he had an incident where he picked a mushroom and the toxin of the mushroom actually ended up getting into his bloodstream, and he had a very strange few days.
Was you a bit topsy turvy?
That made him very ill.
I thought you did.
Yeah, not exactly.
Yeah, Matt, I agree. I agree with you there. I've noticed it myself. This last year, it was like nothing about this year. The bees in my garden, the numbers are through the roof.
The garden centre, it's like going into, we went into this garden centre near Frensham, and all you could hear was a buzzing, and all the flowers were like that because there were so many bees on them.
And it's a good sign, because again, when we talk about wildlife, you start from the smallest thing up. If there are more bugs, there are more birds getting fed or getting food. The birds do better. The birds
Lawrence.
do better.
Right, the alarm's just gone off, and as the alarm went off, the person online was Lawrence. So, Lawrence Bushcraft, you have won the 6 foot
guidelines.
Yeah, guidelines.
Yeah, so Lawrence, you have won the set of 6 foot guidelines from Tarpac. If you email us here, I will forward that on to
them,
Tarpac, and they will get them out to you, mate. Congratulations,
Lawrence.
Yeah. Tarpac, just to let you know, Lawrence has won your 6 foot guidelines. What we did up there on the board, just so you can see there's no cheating, you can see 1 hour and 25 minutes. Jason set his alarm, and at 1 hour 25 minutes, the person that made the nearest comment won the prize, and that was Lawrence. And I hope you all think that was fair and just.
Honey helps with hay fever.
Oh yeah. Honey, right? We talk about medicine. I was watching Loghoppers did a really good video the other day on medicines, and I said to him, I said, in my cupboard, always my natural medicines are garlic, ginger,
very good,
and raw honey. Okay,
really good.
All of these things naturally are antibiotic. Ginger especially is a real boost to your immune system, and on top of that, I dry birch polypores. I dry them in small cubes, about that big, that I can then steep in warm water, not boiling water, warm water for 20 minutes, and make a tea from. The tea is bitter. It's not the nicest tasting thing in the world, but again, it's a real immune system booster.
I've used the polypore tea. Yeah, so LM,
there you go, Lawrence. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, pass your details on to us, and we shall pass it on to Tarpac.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Happy days. Yeah, and there are many other medicines out there, wild medicines. I mean, if you want to have a look, go over to Loghopper's channel.
No, you were the one that commented at that exact time. So
yeah, dive over to Loghopper's channel. You go back, I think it's 2 episodes back. Did an absolute brilliant walkthrough where he was showing you various trees, plants, how he uses them, what they do for him. Again, what he would say and I would say is do your research. Right? Nearly every single ailment out there has a natural remedy or aid.
Also, 3 Dog Night actually freezes his into cubes.
That's a good idea. I never thought of that.
And Jess is saying that the birch polypore is actually keeping her alive right now.
Well, there we go. So there we go. Chaga is a bit more difficult for me to get hold of it down here. For whatever reason, my local silver birches don't get a lot of chaga. Chaga is a growth that forms on the tree. It's a natural part of the tree. It looks like a big black wart. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't get much of it.
Or Granny's burnt the roll.
But if you go into Eastern Europe, especially Siberia and places like that, it is pretty much a standard as a replacement for paracetamol. It's like everywhere you go, everybody's drinking it as a tea all the time.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. That knowledge to forage. great books. Both of them are. You've got both the
Tea Outdoors. He uses a large doner kebab for his happiness and a very hot curry for cleaning his nose. Sleep for tiredness. Yeah, whatever works for you, bro. Whatever works for you, T. Yeah.
So, T, have you got over your weekend away in the madhouse? Uh-oh.
I say that's my Batman, you know. That's the jolly, happy little Cockney chap, Private T. Grand fellow. Love him dearly.
Yeah, so, Owen, honey never goes off, does it?
No.
They found it in the pyramids.
Yeah,
and they,
it's still edible.
If it crystallises, all you got to do is warm it up gently, isn't it? And it turns back into liquid again.
Yeah. And it's got to be raw honey. It's got to be 100% bees honey. What you'll find in a lot of the shops, a lot of the stuff you see labelled as honey is adulterated with golden syrup, sugars and things like that. So if you're shopping for honey, one of the best things you can do is go online, find out who your local beekeeper is. Support him. Because I'll tell you another interesting thing about treating hay fever with honey. If you get the honey locally, because it's the pollen that's local that is going to be affecting a hay fever, the honey contains that pollen. It's made from that pollen and will, and I almost guarantee it, ease your hay fever. Okay. If you get honey from somewhere else in the world, it doesn't have quite as good effect because you're not. I don't know how it works. There's some sort of mystical magic in there.
You get lavender honey because we got a lavender farm, haven't they? They've got bees there.
Yeah, you can get lavender honey from them as well.
But if you're going to buy honey, really try and find your local beekeeper, and they're in cities as well, and it's just as good.
Max said they've got a local honey seller in Necton near him.
Yeah, it's the best way to get it.
Try not to get the mass-produced stuff because that's
it's all sugar.
It's been watered down for so to speak. You wouldn't.
Yeah, that's right, Stuart. Kit and Kid was saying your local garden centres usually have local honey.
Yeah.
Oh, so some honeys give you a pain in the stomach.
Well, that is something to be aware of. We all can be allergic to different things. So if you get a honey, whenever I try new honey, it's a small spoonful first. There's a process.
I'm allergic to pussy willows.
Who says that?
There's a survival process.
Owen.
Yeah. Owen. It probably is what the bees are actually feeding on at a particular time of year. Yeah. Because it changes all the way through the year.
Yeah. Manuka honey, if you can get it.
That's what for wounds. You've been using. You've been having Manuka, haven't you?
I've got Manuka in the really good.
I use Manuka honey for as an antibacterial and antiviral. Absolutely works a treat, but you can if you see Manuka, make sure it's come from New Zealand because it's the only place in the world you get the Manuka plant, and it's actually the pollen from the plant that causes it to be antibacterial and antiviral. There are a lot of very strange little companies going, Manuka honey, and it's not actually Manuka. It was
also Turners in Aldershot do their own honey, do local honey.
So again, it's been used for centuries, honey, for treating everything from burns to skin diseases. It is really, as survivalists, it's one of those things that should be on your shelf. It really is worth having.
Where we got this one from? Sorry, try again, Jason.
Sorry.
Poof, poof. Where we got this one from, T, is this was from Best Before, and what they do, they sell stuff that is coming up to date or just out of date. And of course, you know, honey hasn't got a date.
See, that's where the world...
This was £3 for that size jar.
See, this is where the world goes mad. That everything that is especially to do with food has to have a use by date on, even if it doesn't go out of date. Yeah.
And again, it's honey's absolutely fantastic.
Well, I actually bought 4 jars, didn't I? So we got a nice stock of that.
Now, in the survival world, we have a system called ratting. Okay, it's well worth knowing. Ratting. So, if you watch and study rats, and this is where this came from, they tried testing back in the 1920s poisons on rats. And what they would do is they'd have a tank full of rats and they'd introduce the poison. And what they very quickly noticed that is only one rat would go and take a very small amount of that poison. And if that had any effect on that rat over the next 24 to 48 hours, none of the other rats would touch it. Okay. If that rat survived, it would never go near that item again. Okay. Now, ratting refers to the fact that the system of, even if you like honey and you get a new honey, just have a little bit. If it gives you a side effect or makes you ill, then you avoid that particular product, try something else. And again, you apply that in the survival world to anything you try. Even if you know you've foraged an edible, but it's the first time you've tried it, small amount, just to make sure that it doesn't have an allergic reaction with you. It doesn't affect any medication you're taking. Okay, small amount. If it has any side effect at all, then you know it goes on your list of I can't have that. For me, I discovered it whilst rolling naked in stinging nettles.
Do you know where the rats got that idea from, though?
No.
The kitchens. They watch us. We have them. We call them commie chefs. Yeah. We feed them and see what happens.
Yeah. Adam B says lucky he's got blueberry fields next to him.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are clever because we used to have. We've had lots of pet rats, and we used to have one that used to get unclip her cage and get out of it and go around picking pencils up and tissues and dusters and taking them back to her cage.
Neophobic, yeah. Yeah, Manuka is a tree. It's actually a shrub. It's comes from the shrub varieties, and it only grows in New Zealand. New Zealand protect it. They literally will not let it be exported. You cannot buy Manuka seeds, leaves, branches, anything like that.
Interesting, exactly the same.
Interesting facts for you. 2 years before the so-called COVID outbreak, I said it, shouldn't have said it. There we go. That outbreak.
Yep.
The Chinese government was buying all the Manuka they could from New Zealand.
Funny that,
storing it.
Strange.
Funny that. There's a lot of countries, a lot of people, organisations that will actually buy this up in bulk to put into emergency stores because it is such an effective, natural antiviral and antibiotic.
Yes, just to say, it's also like new wild edible. You try one at a time. Cause your reaction, because the usual thing is pins and needles in the lip and the tongue, isn't it?
That's it. And Caroline's giving you a perfect example of that. If you're not sure, take whatever it is, take your wrist, inside of your wrist there, give it a rub. Okay? Give it an hour. See if you get a reaction. If you get no reaction within the hour, inside of the lip, rub it on the inside of the lip. Okay? Have a bottle of water near you just in case you need to swell out.
Or give it to someone else to try.
Yeah, inside the lip. If there's no reaction again within another hour, put it in. Do not swallow, but chew it. Masticate it. Mix it with the saliva in your mouth. Yeah. Chew it. Spit it. Give it an hour. If there's no reaction after that, eat a small amount. Give yourself 24 hours. If any time at 24 hours you start to feel pains in the stomach, any form of side effects, litre of water and the old finger trick and get it out. And you then put that on your list of, I can't have that one.
Cheers, Lawrence. I shall pass it on to him. Well, I can't actually go onto the emails up here. I have to wait till I go downstairs. But thank you, Living Lviv, Tarpac Innovation. She's just placed an order with him.
Cheers,
did you use your code, Gerwin?
Yeah, and again, one of the things Tarpac have got on their site, you'll see that one of the things I'd like people to do, if you set a bit of kit up, you use a bit of their kit and that.
Send them a picture.
Take a photograph, do a little video, send it into them. One of the things they want to do is they said that it's not so much about advertising themselves. They want other people to sit there and give recommendation. It's one thing to shout about how good your product is, but it's having other people saying, do you know what? It's bloody good kit. Bloody good kit. I've tried it. I've got one. I like
pictures of it rather than just and with a
and also
write-up.
They would love to see your adventures. They'd love to hear from you. Know A, that you like their kit, and B, see your adventures because they're adventurers themselves. These are guys that like to go out into the boonies and have their adventures and to share with other people. And this is one of the things for them. One of their ethos is to actually encourage, help, and see other people having adventures and feel that they've been helped to contribute towards those people having a good time in an adventure.
So I was thinking
doing good, feeling good.
Those ratcheting one, people like me with my arthritis, the ratcheting is perfect.
You're never going to tie a knot, are you?
No, tie a knot's not happening.
Yeah.
But
I like it because I figured out now it's something that I've struggled with for years. I can shinny up a tree, get a loop on really high, shinny up the other tree and get a loop on really high there. But it's then 10 feet up. I can't get the tarp over it to hang it up. With the ratchet system, I can have it drooping down, rig it out, pull it up to the height.
Well, evidence.
And all I've got to do to release it is shinny up the one tree.
Shinny up the trees. He's a Boy Scout.
Release it, and down it comes. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm thinking at the moment, this is an idea I was thinking about today. Using that kit means that I can take my Lavoo out. I should be able to chuck the line up over a branch, bring it down to the ratchet. If I've got the ratchet at the bottom with me, use that to tension up my Lavoo to exactly the right height I want.
Yep.
And then when I want to release it, all I've got to do is release it and pull the line back over the branch.
Yep.
And if you're trying to pop it in and there's a big gust of wind, all it's going to do is blow about like a cheese rod.
Yeah. And again, there you go. That's one of my ideas for how to use a kit. And again, it's got so many options. So many options. It could even, I was sitting there, I was looking at it going, do you know what? If you had a boat, you could also use that for pulling a boat into a bank using the ratchet.
Yeah. Oh, Benny, you missed you missed the prize the giveaway. But so Nicky's in the bath and Luna wouldn't settle.
Thank you for sending me the photograph the other day, Benny.
She's growing so. Luna's growing so much.
Yeah, it's a stunner.
And I don't know if you've seen if anyone has been on Benny's channel has seen Brooke doing her camp the other day with cooking her bacon and that. It was fantastic.
Brilliant. She is a starlet. She is, yeah. I don't know about the Benny channel, the Brooke channel. She's
what a good idea.
We got two of them.
Cujo was saying you could use that system to keep food bags off the floor out of the reach of critters.
You could, So again, options. And again, Mac is turned around and said, even if guys are overseas, if they're interested in the kit, have a chat to him and he'll see what he can do about getting it out to them. So he doesn't just want to keep it UK wide. He'll get anybody that wants this, wants to get hold of him, speak to them, and they will see what they can do. And that's the other nice thing. It's not faceless.
No.
When you speak to these guys, you're not speaking to a secretary in an office. You're not speaking to an AI bot. You're actually speaking to the guys. You're actually speaking to them, and you can say, "Hello, guys. I'm so and so. This is what I'm thinking. What do you reckon?" And they are straight as a die. Straight as a die. They will tell you, "Yeah, we can do that."
He was trying to do the video the other day when I was standing there with the tarpac and renovations, and every plane in the world was flying over. Because of his partial deafness, he's not hearing it till it's actually over it, and we're both going,
You don't know how many retakes were done on that. Where people saying there's a plane over your neck.
Actually, I've just got visions of Mac in a short skirt and spectacles sitting at a desk.
Being secretary.
I'm sure it's happened somewhere on his career, but
so Max might have a Lavoo for the next time we've got camp.
Excellent. Love a Lavoo.
You're very welcome, Lawrence.
I'm hoping to get out my Lavoo in the next week or so, actually. Cheers, Lawrence.
Yeah, because we were watching someone had the pair of Lavoos, and what he had was someone had 3D printed like a tripod thing, and that actually goes into, so when you normally have the Lavoo, you have the pole up the centre. That you had two, one each side of the door, and the other one went to the back. So it actually gives you more space in the Lavoo to move about without worry about knocking the pole out.
There you go. Living Lavoo, the Tri-P. Yeah.
Night, Ray.
Good bit of kit. Night, Ray. Take it easy, mate. Look after yourself. Much love to you.
That's it. Tri-Pi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed with that. Ah, rough timber.
Yeah, right. I'll have a look at that. Let me just rough timber.
So it's typewriter. That's always handy to know because it's something you can put on the board so anyone else is looking who've got a Lavoo and they don't like the pole in the centre.
Now, I see Stanley Bushcraft's got himself a Lavoo, and he's now, as he pointed out, and I've said it in the past myself, people always go, "Oh, doing Lavoo, they're bloody heavy." They're not that heavy. They're not, for what they are, for how efficient they are, especially in the winter months. They're not that heavy. You know, at the end of the day, you can take one of those condom tents out. You know the ones I'm on about.
Yeah.
People put them up, and it is just like the lightest piece of material. You can see through it. You've got no privacy. It doesn't keep the light out. And I'm bloody sure. Well, I know for a fact. Temperature-wise, it's not going to help at all. But they weigh. They pack down to that. They weigh nothing. I give it that. However, I would rather have something that gave me a little bit of security, a little bit of safety, and kept the light out. Because sometimes I like to sleep in, or I might want to get my head down early, especially if I'm tabbing a long way, and that gives me that bit of privacy. So, yeah, I do love my Lavoo.
Yeah, but we've seen Paul Kent. He had that big blow-up one, and the flipping it melted, didn't it? Yeah, it went down on top of his stove.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Code AB216. That's it.
Cheers, Lawrence.
Cheers, Lawrence. Sticks. Urban Camping. Benny and Andy's new channel. Right, Benny and Andy have got a new channel called Urban Camping. So, guys, dive over to that, have a look, see what you think.
Yeah. And Living Lavoo is saying if you go onto rough timber, they do lots of different mods for the Lavoo.
Yeah.
So that's handy to know.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, I saw the video coming up, but I haven't had a chance to watch it. And I apologise to anyone who I've not kept up to date on the videos. I've not been so brilliant, just slightly mental health wise. So I've been not going on there so much. Yes. So I will catch up with you. It's not that I don't want to watch your channels and that.
Yeah. Well, we've been a bit hectic just lately, haven't we? Yeah, we've got a bit of a crazy life going on at the moment.
And I hope, Benny, you're doing that, the one with you working, because I love that decorating video you did the other day. That was really good. So if Andy can't come out, you have to take Graham out.
I will say, guys, sip that off.
Oh, I'm actually going to get a bit.
Morrison's at the moment. Brothers Cider in cans, £1.35 a can.
That's quite nice. Raspberry
and it is
lime,
rather pleasant. It's
even though it's in the mag
3.5%, so it's not particularly strong. But again, I don't like a strong cider. Natural flavours made in Somerset. Good old Somerset. Good old Somerset, as they call it down there.
Yeah, give it till Wednesday, Benny, because the postman was actually saying to us it's the same as every, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're so low on staff at the moment, and they have got such a backlog of parcels and things like that. Yeah.
He said to me, short on staff.
Oh, and I went,
right, well, you need more employees. And he went, no, since they didn't use them on Snow White, we've got nothing but dwarfs in the workshop. And if I apologise if I've just offended anybody.
They can't reach the letterboxes either.
I apologise. That was very rude of me.
Benny said he didn't get much feedback on that video, so he's not sure to do it or not. Go for it. You liked it, didn't it?
Right.
I watched it twice.
Benny put a video out the other week.
Actually doing his decorating, showing his decorating.
He's at work, just showing you a bit of what his life's like at work, giving tips, ideas, techniques, usual Benny humours in there. Guys, dive over, have a look, give him some feedback, because I found it hilarious and I found it interesting as well. There was a couple of tips that I picked up. I was like, oh, that's how you do that then. So, it's shows some love and support.
Oh, Lavoo said that ridge pie is great too. That allows you to put a tart between the two halves of the Lavoo.
Ah.
So
well, that's a technique that me and Mac have used quite a few times.
Yeah.
So I've got the Lavoo. I'll split it and I set the two Lavoos up just using a guy line between the centre poles, which pulls it in, and then I just tarp over it. Makes a nice summer shelter. Obviously, the downside with the Lavoo, I will say, it only has one downside. I prefer it in the winter to the summer, purely simply because of bugs.
Oh, I'm trying to think about that. You see the hairs going. I like Koppenberg cider. I don't like someone got me for my birthday a toffee apple one. Ooh, no.
Well, I nearly got. It was going to be that, or for £1.50 a bottle, they were doing the Koppenberg cherry and the Koppenberg. I think it was pear. And I very nearly got those because I like the Koppenbergs. So I do like the pear. I've never had the cherry.
Yeah, where they put the cream cakes in Morrison's, that's where the special deals on there's a Coke, the cider is, and it's in the fridge.
I'll have to have a wander around it because I do have a love of pear cider. I think it's one of the most astounding flavours.
Mind you, we used to drink a lot of Thunderbird, and that was pear, wasn't it?
Stealth says the cherry one's amazing.
Red and blue label.
Cherry, on your recommendation and the recommendation from who was it? From Andy and Stealth giving recommendations. So when I go shopping this week, I'm going to get one cherry and one pear, and next Sunday I will try those live on here.
You little devil.
Oh, I'm a minx. I'm a little beastie, I am. Yeah, take me outside and whip me with a stick.
You can't take the Cornish out of him, can you, Jason? You can't take the Cornish out of him, no.
You can't.
So we used to...
Yeah.
Ah, so I had a protecting ground sheet added to my size 3. Less bugs.
Yeah. There's two things that I hate in the world when I'm camping. It's one of the reasons I love a tarp, especially the built-in net, is midges.
Do they, Andy?
And I've said it before. I woke up one morning, got up, walked out of my basher, got out my. Well, I was actually. I'll tell you what I was doing. I was literally in a bivvy bag on the ground, nothing else, just that sleep bag. I got up, got myself sorted, and it's like right. Combat drill, so it's a quick shave. Yeah. So get my little mirror set up, got my brew on, made my brew, got my mess tin, got my hot water, got my razor, give it a shake in there, looked at the mirror like that, and I was like, what the fuck's that? I've got an eyebrow on my forehead. And there was a big black slug right about there. And the trail went right across my face. And I was like, it went across my lips, and I was like,
yeah, Cujo, yeah. Mick does bleed pasties.
Oh, he does bleed pasties. Yeah. I don't bleed a pasty.
Yeah, and his son...
Bloody great in pasties.
Yeah, his son was riding a motorbike eating pasty. Yeah.
Bloody gorgeous pasties. Oh, taddioggies, as we call them where I come from. Oh, bloody gorgeous taddioggie.
It makes you laugh. They say, giant. They're enough to feed a family, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Midges, teeth with wings. I saw one carrying off a Jack Russell the other day.
3 Dog Night says, worse is when they get in your boots and you don't check.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
they're horrible, aren't they, slugs? Ugh.
Doesn't help with the blisters, I can tell you that much.
It helps keep your toes apart, though.
Mind you, I have been to places in the world where if you're not careful, you look at your boots in the morning, there's a big pair of hairy legs coming out the top of your boots like that.
God, yeah.
That's why even today, if you come to the camp, you have a sneak over to me when I've hit the sack. My boots, I always knock the laces and I chuck them up over my ridge line. Right? My boots are always hung up off the ground. Purely simply because, I know.
You can't get out that team thing where you used to throw your trainers up on the lines.
Oh, no, I used to throw my knockers up on the lines, though.
Oh, Jess, I'm glad you're feeling better, love. She was making a lot, cracking her up, so it's making her feel better. It's put like that in the can, wasn't it?
Laughter cures everything, I can tell you that much. Yeah, I used to have a great big pair of knockers that I used to play with as a kid. It was 70s, we all had them.
Knockers, you twat.
They were like a
hangers, we used to call them.
Yeah.
They were like I don't know what they were, like a hard plastic.
Yeah, and they were banned because you kept breaking the rings.
Right. We used to log them up on the telephone wires. But what I did find was good with them.
Clackers, that's it.
Clackers,
well done, three dog.
If you lengthen the cord and your little brother started running, you could get that going like a good wrap around his ankles. Down he'd go.
I think all the joking out of the camp had to do with the amount of sugar they took, because the amount of chocolate hobnobs and
Jesus God, I've seen so many bloody packs of hobnobs.
Those dairy milk.
Did you say something before the camp?
Fruity and nutty trail mix.
Yeah, that's the point. I have got a bone to pick with the people that came to the camp here, right? Numerous people
always best in pairs.
Bought Mick packets of chocolate hobnobs, which I really appreciated. And being the kind soul I was, I put them on the table with the brew kit.
Apart from one, because I took it home with me on Saturday.
I got 2 chocolate hobnobs out of the whole bloody lot.
There must be about 8 packets there as well.
Yeah,
and
I got 2.
And there were boxes of these with 3 in each box. Yeah.
So next camp, if you bring me a packet of chocolate hobnobs, I'm not bloody sharing them.
Yeah, of course. If you want to know about chocolate hobnobs, the king of chocolate hobnobs is with us tonight. Life's a hobby. He doesn't go anywhere without his chocolate hobnobs.
Yeah, well.
So yeah, I think I should.
Well, I'd stick to what I said at the beginning. I had a big pair of knockers and I loved them. I've always loved my knockers, and that's just the way it is.
Oh no, T said it. Kiwi said he bought 2. As well.
Yeah, but he had 4 packets.
Yeah, and T was saying he bought 2 packs with him, but next time he's going to bring more.
No, I tell you what, I do appreciate it. Hello, guys. I mean, and no, I haven't got a problem as long as you all enjoyed it.
You seem like you had.
Yeah. Jace, right on the last day, it come down to the fact there was just me, Jason, and Chris there, and we were just setting off to go. And Jace said to me, "That's a great camp. That was a great camp." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you see where all the chocolate hobnobs went?" And he went, "Oh, why didn't you get any?" I went, "I got 2." And he went, "Oh."
Yeah, I think what it's going to be is like it's going to be like a ticket thing. You're given a certain amount of tickets, and that's per biscuit.
Yeah.
No, next time
we rationed one every couple of hours.
Yeah. I've got a special jacket with a hobnob pocket. I'm just going to slide one of the packets in there, and it's going to stay with me.
What I think is going to happen is on the next camp, he's going to hide that flipping game cam and check out the biscuits. He's going to be viewing down on it and sitting there with a little notebook writing down.
Oh yeah. He's had 3. He's had 4. No, what I'm going to do, I'm taking the game camera next time, see if we can catch this lady. I'm going to be setting it up as a bit of a trick.
Oh, T.
These hobnobs are for your mouth only.
Is that because I said about with Lee Roberts when he's eating kiwi sausage? I said that don't you feel much happier having kiwi's meat in your mouth around kiwi's meat?
So wrong.
Yes, I will say on my video I did say that children will be fine as long as they've got adult superstition. But I'm not. Superstition. Adult superstition. Beware the adults, for they quick part at the end of the night. Oh my God, no. No, the humour at the camp, and I will say, is very, very adult. It's very varied because people come from all walks of life. And I will say to anybody that you know, we have a laugh, we have a joke. Nobody offends anybody. I will not have hatred. I won't have nastiness there at all. And anytime anybody gets stupid like that, it will be Mickey scruff
Poor
of the
Jessie's
neck
dying.
up to the gate now. Because
Easy go.
Yeah.
but the humour is quite adult, yeah. And if you're not used to that sort of humour, I think some people might be slightly shocked. But yeah, just throw your own in. Just throw your own in. Because none of it, I don't allow offensiveness, I don't allow nastiness, but yeah, it is, we all have a good crack and we all have a bit of a laugh.
Benny says at least there wasn't a porn mag that you were getting stashed everywhere. Mick, freaking hell finding them, that used to be a right mission. I think it's going to be August. Hopefully, he's just got to wait to speak to.
Gareth's doing the NC 500 at the moment.
Yeah.
He's up there having a
Yeah,
for his birthday
as well.
Yeah. So he's doing that. When he gets back, I'm going to sit down and have a chat to him, and I'm hoping sometime for either the last 2 weeks in July or the first 2 weeks in August. But it depends on when the woods is free. So as soon as I've got a date, I'll obviously let you guys know. And I have had feedback. The guys that are at the camp know that on the Friday night, no, it was a Saturday night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A tour run from there. So it was
did you see their little faces?
Loads of
They
Land
come
Rovers
in, looking at the food,
met up, and then were led out on a tour. They did a fish and chip evening supper where they go and drive lots of byways and that, and then Jace delivers fish and chips suppers to order.
I was busy that night. I'd say I was
he was cooking the meat, and then he had to go and deliver the fish and chips.
But those guys that actually saw that, they were like, "That looked bloody good fun. What are you doing?" So we're a bit of a wildcat. Oh, that really looked like fun. So
I think it more likely be August, because I think July, at the end of July, you got to pick your mum's friend up and move her about as well.
That's the beginning of July. Yeah, that's the 11th to the sometime around then.
That's the people coming to meet up, and the Land Rovers were all sort of walking past the camp, and that's at the same time that all the food was being done on the campfires. You see him looking. You got one there.
There's a message for you all there in the comments for all of you from Tarpac.
Just got to say, Mick, you and all your followers, thank you so much for the orders and support. So much appreciated. Hampshire Outdoors and Survival, what a place to be.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Our pleasure, mate. And yeah, let's carry on building the community, guys. Let's make this the place to be on a Sunday night. You know, we're never all going to manage to meet up. We're never all going to manage to camp together, but we've all got the same passion, the same love. But
when you do meet up, it's like you've known.
Yeah.
It's strange, isn't it? You meet up and
Oh, Benny's off to look at an L200 on Friday.
Excellent, Benny. Very nice.
Right, Benny, what I know of L200s is massive. Right, two things to look out for on the L200, mate, is check for rot on the chassis and the floor pan. If that's good, next thing to check is the radiator. Yeah, check the radiator. Now, there's a myth out there that Mitsubishi L200s blow their head gaskets. It's not a weak head gasket problem. It's the core and the radiator collapses over time, right? So it's the radiator that goes like that. When I got mine, I replaced it. I got an aftermarket radiator, cost me 25 quid, slapped it in, never had an issue. Okay, so yeah, I know, I loved it. Brilliant vehicle. We used to get 40 to the gallon out of that, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was quite an economical vehicle. Depends how you drive it. But yeah. It was a bloody good vehicle, off-road, really capable, on-road. Yeah,
see, really Benny says thank you. He remembers. He actually wrote it down.
Yeah.
And Owen says they got the best heater in the world.
Yeah, they have. Bloody good heater. Good aircon as well. Good aircon and a great four-wheel drive system. The low range ratio in it is pretty good.
Well, Lawrence, if you can get to a train station, there is one that's not that far away from it. Don't walk.
Don't do sticks.
Right, the nearest railway station to the camp is Farnham in Surrey. Sticks found, and actually Sticks found that was an easier route for him to come down than it was to come to me. So
we're sure we can sort something out, because I know that Paul Sussex wasn't able to come in the end. So also, Jessie's going to be training some of the ladies up in Scotland, so she's going to be putting an order as well. So
there you go. Live in the Voo, Tarpac, say contact them, and they'll see what they can do for you, pal.
Yeah, he's just.
Yeah. They're good
So
guys.
yeah, I'm sure that we can sort something out for you, Lawrence.
Yeah, we'll find a way. Well, there's a way. There's a way.
I was expecting you sticks to walk in and do it. What? And then you answer. No one did it.
No,
I was disappointed.
I wasn't there.
Because it was a bit of a tradition.
So he can do it from the Reigate Red Hill station.
Righty ho. Brilliant. Top out there. Jess Outdoors, email me first, please. You mentioned Scotland, that's enough for me.
Yeah, and it's a ladies' training.
Yeah, he's Scottish, Jess.
So hence he made suggested to Lockhoppers to have a trip to Crieff.
Yeah, Creef's absolutely stunning.
Beautiful
place. Gateway to the Highlands.
10-minute walk. Yeah.
10-minute walk.
Yeah.
Right, that's 2 hours and 4 minutes. Blimey, guys, it's been a fun evening this evening.
It's a tonight, isn't it?
We're going to wind it up because 2 hours. Yeah.
My bum's numb, sorry.
And, it's bank holiday tomorrow, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, you lucky buggers. Enjoy your bank holiday tomorrow. Enjoy it. If you're in the UK, it's a bank holiday tomorrow.
Yeah, have a good day tomorrow.
Yeah. And if you've got to work, remind them. Double time.
Yeah, Benny said he could set a tarp up over the bed of the L200.
Yeah, mate. They are.
Oh, sorry, you froze, Stealth.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's half term. So what are you going to do with your boys?
Yeah. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you very much, Stealth. You too, mate. You have a great week. Get outdoors, have an adventure.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Willow, right? Hello, Willow.
He did. He has been up. Oh,
there we go.
He was up in a hammock tea in the woods the other day.
Yeah.
There you go, look.
Yeah.
Your public demands yours.
He was a little monkey. When we went to do the filming, he was mooching round and he was going on further and further, and then he went up towards the road.
Took himself off for a walk.
Yes.
Didn't you? Yes, you did take yourself for a little walk. You're getting brave. You become a little adventure bunny, haven't you?
Oh, T's got him in his video he's editing.
Excellent.
Hey, Willow.
Yeah.
And I was sort of the cuddling of you, Jason, wasn't he? Oh. Yeah, hopefully you feel better soon, Jess. Wine time. Nice. Enjoy your meal as well, John.
Yeah. Right. Thank you all, everybody, for coming and joining us this evening from wherever you are in this world. John, our friend in America, John Kennedy, his area has been hit by a tornado. It's 350,000 people without power.
And Lefty's been having some pretty bad weather.
Our thoughts and our prayers go out to you out there. Really do. It's a terrible thing to have happen. I know people have lost their homes. Some people have lost their lives. It's an awful thing. So our prayers,
I'll do that right now.
Our prayers and our thoughts are honestly with you guys, and hopefully you'll come through this and your community is able to rebuild itself. No, in fact, I know it will, because I know you've got that spirit. So
Stuart, Sticks, Owen,
John, pass it on
Adam,
to anybody that needs to know. Yeah, we love you.
Stealth, out with Max, Bill, Kiwi, Benny, Andy B. I've met anyone? No, I have. Oh yeah, Tarpac. Sorry.
Yeah, I've no doubt we've missed somebody tonight. And to my brother from another mother, Mr. D, who I know is probably listening to this but working at the moment. Say hi to your mum for me. Give her a big hug. Give her a peck on the cheek.
Leave his mum alone.
I love his mum. She's grand. She's one of those fantastic ladies. So, guys, stay safe.
Fingers crossed. Let us know about your car, Willow. Benny.
Stay safe. Get outdoors. Have an adventure.
Have more coffee. Caroline.
Love those you do. Forgive those you don't. And as always, may peace and light be upon you all. Till next time, this is Mick, Jason, Kaz, Willow, and Tarpak. Wishing you all the best. Guys,
good night.
Mickey
Night.
out.